Forget all the troubles and blues. Dive into the blue. Oh yes, talk to the fish.
Welcome, Bottom Timer, to Talk to the Fish. I'm Jack, your host for 5 minutes, and together we will plumb the depths of scuba secrets. We're here to turn nervous newbies into confident divers and transform surface-dwelling landlubbers into true ocean explorers. Joining us today is Regis, a dive instructor and our resident Shell Ebrity dive expert. Regis, you've been teaching humans how to navigate our watery world for a while now?
Hello, Jack. And, well, between panicked bubbles and backwards fins, it's a full-time job keeping these air breathers alive.
Speaking of survival, we've got a question from the viewer Barsanova. Why do some divers use a long hose? I hope it's not just to compensate for something. We're talking about equipment here, folks, not a marine mating ritual.
I hope so.
Tell me, Regis, all about this mysterious long hose. What exactly are we talking about here?
Let me break it down for you, Jack. The long hose regulator is a specific configuration where your second stage breathing regulator has an extended hose. Typically 1.5 to 2 meters long, 5 to 7 feet.
And like most brilliant ideas, it started in the dark, twisty world of cave diving. Regis, cave divers are the mad scientists of the underwater world, I tell you.
You're right, Jack. I mean about the origin. The long hose is born from necessity in narrow environments where a single mistake could be fatal. This technique was so effective that technical divers everywhere soon adopted it, turning a cave diving hack into a standard safety protocol.
So how does this marine marvel work?
This hose is strategically worn, looped around your torso and neck, creating an easily deployable lifeline. If your dive body runs out of air, you can quickly and smoothly pass them this primary breathing regulator. You then switch yourself to the backup second stage that hangs around your neck with a bungee.
But why? The octopus was not good enough. I know an octopus that will be bummed out to hear that.
The long hose method isn't just an alternative to the octopus system, it's a significant improvement in dive safety. The primary purpose is to enable the most effective assistance to a diver who's out of air.
I had a hunch the octopus was not so smart after all.
It's all about reliability and human behavior. A traditional backup regulator sits mainly unused throughout the dive. Who knows if it'll actually work when you need it most?
Let's be honest, this octopus has dragged around more places than a lost tourist with a giant map.
But with a long hose, you're donating the exact second stage regulator you've been breathing on. So you know it's 100% functional.
And the other diver knows it very well.
Consider a panicked diver. In an emergency, he's not going to politely ask for your alternate air source.
Politeness underwater? Try asking a tuna for directions.
The diver will likely grab whatever looks like a breath of life, and that means potentially yanking the regulator right out of your mouth.
Sounds like underwater survival becomes a bit of a wrestling match.
The long hose configuration is brilliant because it anticipates this human response. If your body snatches a long hose regulator, no problem. You simply switch to your backup regulator, conveniently secured around your neck. It turns a potentially dangerous situation into a controlled, safe air transfer.
Diving is always about anticipating the unexpected. It's beautiful what I just said.
And don't forget,
I don't forget. What I didn't forget?
during an emergency ascent in air sharing, the extra hose length gives divers more breathing room, literally. You can maintain distance, control, and prevent the underwater equivalent of a three-legged race panic.
Something else about the long hose?
It's elegant.
Underwater elegance. Do tell.
Instead of hoses sticking out like awkward marine antennae, everything stays snug against your body. Imagine reducing your chances of getting tangled in underwater obstacles. It's like having a streamlined superhero costume.
Less snagging, more swimming.
You're right. In caves or shipwrecks, this design is a game changer. Traditional setups would have divers bumping and tangling, but with a long hose, you can navigate single file through the narrowest passages.
Welcome to diving, where science meets art and survival looks stylish.
But every superhero has a weakness, Jack.
Killjoy.
This is not a plug-and-play system.
Uh-oh, sounds technical.
You can't just slap on a long hose. It requires specific protocols that aren't in your standard dive manual. Think of it like learning to salsa when you've only known the chicken dance.
So it's not a one-size-fits-all underwater statement?
Far from it. You need to learn the hog loop method of routing and stowing the hose. It's like origami, but with one wrong fall, you turn your elegant safety system into a marine spaghetti mess.
Underwater equipment spaghetti. Spaghetti alla pescatora, I suppose.
And here's the real kicker. This configuration works best with a backplate and wing rather than a classic BCD. It's easier to keep everything neat and accessible with this kind of webbing harness.
When a harness becomes the hose's personal valet. So much for my universal dive setup. All right, shell shock therapy complete.
It was a pleasure.
We've learned all about the 2 meters breathing superhero hose, born in cave diving, designed to keep divers safer than a turtle in its shell. It's about controlled air sharing, preventing panic, and looking sleek while potentially saving lives. Divers, if you loved our deep dive into long hose technology, don't forget to subscribe to Talk to the Fish. Next week, bubble blunders, when divers eat Brussels sprouts. Get ready for underwater embarrassment and a blooper reel. Until next time, dive buddies. Stay safe, stay curious, and remember, in the ocean, knowledge is your best buoyancy compensator.
Forget all the troubles and blues. Dive into the blue. Oh yes, talk to the fish.